All right, let's cut through some of the noise in AV installation. Today, we're doing a really focused deep dive. We're looking at one piece of hardware, the PureLink HCE II TX, specifically the transmitter unit. Our whole mission here is to figure out how this little box solves that big problem of, long-distance signal transmission.
And what's really interesting about it is just how focused it is. It's all about efficiency. It's basically an easy-to-install solution for pushing uncompressed HDMI video
Mm-hmm.
and all its embedded lossless audio, even the HDCP-protected content, over a really long distance. And critically, using just a single CADEC cable.
Okay, so that right there brings up a question, especially for installers. HDBaseT, it's the key term here. But what's the real world difference between this and, say, just running a long active optical HDMI cable? Is it really more reliable?
Yeah, that's a fair question. It really comes down to managing complexity. That integrated HDBaseT, that's the engine, right? It's what converts and conditions the signal so it can actually travel over that kind of infrastructure without just falling apart. And the key piece of knowledge for any installation is the trade-off. It's always distance versus resolution. You have to pick one.
Exactly. So let's hit those performance ceilings right away. If you prioritize distance and you're working with standard high definition, the performance is, well, it's pretty impressive. We're talking 1080p or even WUXGA at 60 hertz. It'll support cable lengths up to 230 feet. That's about 70 meters.
But, and this is the big but, if you need to push Ultra HD, so 4K resolution at 30 hertz, that transmission distance gets cut down, and pretty significantly. You're suddenly restricted to about 130 feet, which is 40 meters. And that's a non-negotiable metric. It's the number that planners absolutely must respect.
That 130-foot limit for 4K, that feels like the real bottleneck, doesn't it? Especially for a large commercial build. So to keep that signal clean, what technical standards are holding it all together?
It's all about compliance. It has to be. So you're looking at HDMI version 1.4 support, full HDCP 2.2 compliance, which is essential for streaming protected content and a robust video bandwidth of 10.2 Gbps. Those standards are what guarantee the signal actually remains whole at the other end.
Okay, so the specs support the distance. Let's shift from performance to the more practical features. I'm seeing bidirectional IR extension mentioned here.
Yeah.
Why does that matter so much on an install?
Oh, it just streamlines the whole setup. It lets the control signals flow both ways, from the source to the display, or maybe more importantly, from the display's remote back to the source device.
Yeah.
All on that one cable.
So you don't need to run a separate dedicated wire just for the remote control.
Exactly. It just solves that headache completely.
And physically, I mean, this thing is tiny. The source note's the ultra slim design. It's about 4 inches by 3 inches. I've seen integrators trying to cram components 3 times that size into a wall void. That small footprint isn't just marketing, it's a genuine time saver.
Absolutely. And that small size is coupled with reliability, which is crucial. If we look at the long-term metrics like the mean time between failures or MTBF, this unit is rated at 50,000 hours. That is a strong assurance of its lifespan, especially in commercial settings where any system downtime is extremely costly.
So the core value proposition here is highly efficient extension of high-quality protected video up to 4K, all over a single CATX cable. But you, as the listener, have to keep that 70-meter limit for 1080p and that 40-meter limit for 4K really front of mind when planning your runs.
Which brings up an important final thought for you to consider.
Yeah.
We focused entirely on the transmitter, the HCE II TX, the unit that prepares the signal for its long journey. So what are the different operational requirements or the complexities that have to be handled by the corresponding receiver unit, the HCE II RX, that completes that connection? The part that has to take that signal and convert it back into pristine HDMI, that moment of signal recovery, that's often where the real technical challenge lies.